2011 could officially be the year of near-field communications, and in fact, here at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, there are plenty of companies that are using the technology and demonstrating it through contactless payments. But as a technology, near-field communications has more to offer than just payment-orientated applications. In fact, there's a whole range of applications that can actually make fair use of this particular technology. I'm here today on the NXP booth, and I'm talking to Jeff Miles, who's going to explain what NFC and automotive have in common. Jeff, we have a car on the booth here. How does this fit in with NFC?
Well, maybe it's easy if I just show you. Let's use my NFC phone and let's come on in. The excitement of the show with NFC, what we wanted to show is some other use cases, some other ways that NFC can be used to really change a person's life, their consumer experience of what they might experience. So this NFC phone that we have is actually enabling you to unlock your car door, to basically start your car, to put your preferences, things like that. So let me show you real quick how we start that process. So when I put the phone in, what's actually happening is that I'm actually putting my authentication that it's me in this car. The first thing that's going to happen is it allows me to go ahead and start up the car. It allows me to transfer my presence or my media, the different settings that I might have. It also allows the car to bring information back to my phone so that I might be able to use it when I'm outside the car. Things like my gas levels, oil levels, when I need my next checkup, mileage, things like that that might be useful, and probably most important, my location, so I don't get lost in the garage. So let me show you what that looks like a little bit of on screen here. So right here you can see I've got my different music list or playlist that I might have. I've got the different radio presettings that I might like or that I've already loaded on and I have. I've got different ways to be able to set exactly where my location is so that I know that that's getting transferred to my location. While it's going on, it's also charging with battery. It's using NFC to actually charge the battery for it to be able to do that. So those are some of the things that I think you're going to be seeing. I think what's nice about NFC is it's going to add innovation, allow car makers to really do different things, to really add different value and different ways of connecting the mobile phone to my car or my telematics system that I have in a car. Steve, I'd like to show you another application that's really outside the payments world. In this particular example, what we're doing is looking at a very typical use of RFID tags and how it's used really in logistics control. Typically what you'd see is these tags would be scanned in and really processed throughout the whole life of from beginning to end, from the factory to the end, in terms of making sure that it got there along the way, being able to track it. But in this case we used actually NFC tags. And the reason we use NFC tags is really to get multiple uses out of them. And two things I wanted to show. So in addition to the normal process of where you'd use those tags coming from the factory to the end store, is along the way different things can happen. The first is if you happen to be using it with, for example, customs officers can use it. They'd actually use it for their badge. They'd be able to take the ID, check with it, and make sure that this product is actually one that's been processed in the proper way, paid through taxes, etc., and actually processed. So customs officials or the government can actually use these very same tags as well as the logistic value of them. What's potentially even more exciting and what you're seeing at the show is really what are the different ways that a consumer's life might be changed. Using, again, the same tag now in a retail setting, that same tag, using my phone, in this case the Nexus S, I tap it, and now I've got product information about the actual product. I can read information in terms of its nutritional contents, anything about it, promotional items, etc. So the tag really has multitude of purposes, from logistics to control and also to a consumer use. We've got some samples here of how NFC tags can be used to really simplify a consumer's life, allow them to interact with the physical world. So I'm going to use my NFC phone with these tags and show you some different examples. First example I want to talk about is the connection to Wi-Fi. Think of yourself going into a coffee shop. You want to connect to Wi-Fi. There's simply a tag here that has Wi-Fi. I tap my phone, and it puts in all the settings, the passcode, and now I'm connected to Wi-Fi. Just a simple shortcut. Nothing I couldn't do already, but creates a shortcut. Another exciting use of tags is the ability to connect to applications. So, as I look at it now, I look at these different tags, all represent a different application I might see in a retail. One real popular one right now would be, for example, to connect to Facebook. Tap that tag, now I'm connected to Facebook. It could be that particular location that I could now be a fan of. Another example would be connecting to Yelp. And in this example, I've now connected to the location that I'm in, and now I'm actually on the Yelp page for that particular application.
We at Device Fidelity provide NFC microSD solutions, which are the industry-leading plug-and-play solution for converting smartphones into NFC devices. We have been working with NXP for over a year and a half. We have used products, services, and software from them to integrate their range of products into our NFC microSD solution. We recently announced a version of our product which is called IntoPay version 3, which makes use of NXP's NFC controller and SmartMX secure devices to bring a total NFC device, a modular device that can be plugged into smartphones and convert smartphones into NFC devices. The relationship with NXP that we have has been very collaborative. We work with them in product development, in planning our roadmap of evolution, in working with the leading customers such as Visa in the marketplace, and also in helping each other grow the NFC ecosystem.
So we have worked for years with NXP, and we are very committed as Orange to roll out commercial services on using NFC phones. We have done trials with NXP, with handsets powered by NXP, including our field trial in Nice, and now we are rolling out nationally in many countries. And we are very happy to work with a company with the expertise of NXP to develop tag-based services, card emulation services, and we support all initiatives by vendors like the one with NXP and G&D that will make possible for Orange to distribute our services to more customers, like people buying Android phones.
Here at the Mobile World Congress, near-field communication seems to be the topic that everybody's talking about, but obviously it's got to be more than just about contactless payments, right?
It absolutely is, Steve. So I think with the excitement that's coming around, with all the new phones that are being launched and really getting phones into the market, what's really exciting now is what's going to take place in terms of applications, and it really is about more than payments. Payments will be driving a lot of the industry, but I think what you're going to see this year is new applications in the area of authentication, tags and labels. I think what you're really going to have is a situation where Android developers, as an example, will be building new applications that we couldn't even think of that go so far beyond payments. And I think that really becomes the exciting part of NFC and really the sign that it's taking its place in the industry. Well, Steve, thanks for joining us today. I hope you really saw a little bit of vision of what's going to be coming this year. We think this is really the year that NFC is going to make a huge impact. The phones are coming, as we talked about earlier, and hopefully you've seen some of the kinds of applications we see, even outside of the payments infrastructure, that are really going to come to light in 2011. NFC as a tool for mobile application developers is really going to change the way we all look at our phones. Thanks for coming.